Summer Shift series, shift tactic number 6, catching people in your web. Sounds like Charlotte's Web for a minute, but at the end of the day, that's really the analogy, right? We're out there looking to catch people in the web. How do you think about it?
That's exactly how I see. Hey everyone, Natasha here. And when I think about catching people in your web, the old terminology was just purely the internet. And I think about it as, what do we have out there that's sticky, right? If you think of a spider web, it's a little kind of sticky. That's the same thing. What can we cast out there that is sticky for all those people we don't know to attract them into our inner circle?
There you go. I think about the web, and it's hard not to correlate the web to the word internet, right? And the internet's kind of so many different things, and we're going to kind of talk about how we think about the internet today. But really, the internet is the opportunity of non-Mets, and the concept of non-Mets is not people we normally interact with, people that are out there in those concentric circles that have a chance to create interaction with us, but they're not necessarily in our 5-foot circle, our circle of friends, our circle of influence. And the internet helps us meet those people or get caught in our web.
Yeah, and I would add, when I think about it, I think about social media. And I think when I think about the web, it's all of those people. So maybe your inner circle on Facebook are people you truly know. And then there's all those Facebook friends, right? These are people you've never met before. Somehow you connected. The algorithm thought it was a good idea. You guys should connect, and there you are. Then there's LinkedIn, and then there's YouTube. And YouTube is a great opportunity because then you're bringing people that you're attracting that you have never met. You have no idea. TikTok, same thing. And so when I think of this particular chapter, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like the greater social media and internet presence.
Yeah. So really the whole concept is we put something out there in the internet world that attracts people into our influence. Whether they choose to like us in a certain social media environment, or they actually hopefully interact with us. The whole point is, what are we putting out there in that digital environment that creates opportunity for connection?
Yeah, and what draws them back in, right? And then once you've drawn them in, what are you doing in terms of a funnel to kind of continue to bring them closer and closer to a in-person relationship?
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the different things that people can do. So obviously, search engine optimization is, I think at this point in time, everybody understands the website alone doesn't necessarily bring us the business, but it's a necessary thing on the internet to have a place for people to go to from this web, right? So they would check us out on the website or some kind of landing page, that kind of thing that captures people off the web. But search engine optimization is the organic way. I say organic, you still pay for it, but it's the organic way of people finding you out there in the vast World Wide Web based on words, content, the ability to rank organically in the search engines based on what content or relevant information you have out there in the web.
Yeah, I would say the other thing would be, pay-per-click, right? That's still around. That's the ability for you to post your website, and every time somebody clicks through, you'll see it's like sponsored ad. You click through, you pay every time it clicks through for you.
Sure.
So in some markets, it works great. In the smaller markets, and the very large markets, it can get very costly very quickly because you're competing against the very large players out there.
Sure. And this goes back to leverage we talked about before. You're probably not playing these games specifically alone. You're probably hiring a company that manages your pay-per-click, or hiring a company that manages your search engine optimization, because these things change every 3 to 6 months in the algorithm world of the internet, right? So the people that are on top of it is who you need to be in business with, because you can spend a lot of money quickly and you want to hold your results accountable, making sure you're getting the leads generated from the spend of trying to capture people in your web, right? And especially in times of shift, all the more reason to be very accountable with our marketing and ad spend.
Yeah, every dollar counts.
Another one is listing aggregators. So we've always had this interesting love-hate relationship with listing aggregators. But at the end of the day, they're actually a great lead source sometimes, it's found out. You just got to deal with the necessary referral fees and that kind of concept around doing business with some of the listing aggregators. But it's a way to catch people in your web.
I think the difference that over the course of the years that we've found is that often the listing aggregators have buyers and or sellers who are further down the funnel, right? They're closer to being ready to make a decision. And so if you choose to play in this space, you understand that you probably have a buyer or seller who's more ready, able, and willing, yet there's a cost to doing this.
Sure. And then of course we've got our social media or digital advertising. I like to call that the voyeurism, meaning I put pretty pictures out there in the digital world and people click based on a pretty photo or a really sharp marketing message, causes people to click and engage. But you're right, Natasha, one of the biggest things about this whole concept of catching people in the web is understanding their emotional level or emotional proximity to actually transacting a real estate transaction. So when they're in voyeurism world, they're pretty far from that emotional proximity to the transaction. But if they go to Google and type in homes for sale, Minnetonka, Minnesota, they're looking to buy a house in Minnetonka, Minnesota, right? And because they typed it into Google, their emotional proximity is much closer. Yet if they're on the listing aggregator, they're pretty close because they're actually out there looking for that real estate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know. I mean, what we've discovered and what we're seeing a lot of our agents who are just really have a great handle around their social media is as they are attracting people through lifestyle. So whether it's they blog about or they post about food or fitness or fashion, and then they layer in real estate to it, it's really been attracting people into their world specifically for that. They might have followed them for the fitness or the fashion, and yet they do business with them for the real estate.
Absolutely. So this is a powerful concept, and why I think it's powerful in the context of Shift is it allows people to get to non-Mets at a faster pace than just door knocking would or postcards would. You can move through the internet much faster than you can a physical space, obviously. But at the context of Shift is we're trying to find people to buy and sell real estate as fast and efficiently as possible. And that's really what this chapter is about. We can talk about all the different ins and outs of SEO or pay-per-click or even, I think you've got something you're going to tease us about coming soon. But here's the deal. You can't do it all. We make mention of that many times throughout our Shift series. You need to pick one or two great things and go big with it.
Kind of teasing, we've got the new Facebook dynamic ads coming to a market center near you pretty soon. And so the difference between traditional Facebook ads that you're accustomed to through command and dynamic is the ability to retarget. And so that changes the game, kind of like you would do an ads manager.
Yes. So coming soon, asterisk, 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 meaning if I go look for shoes on a website, all of a sudden all the shoes follow me all over the internet. That's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
So if somebody's
trails.
There you go. So at the end of the day, here's three things that I think you should discuss in the room around catching people in your web. Number one, lead generation is everything to a sales business. What is your strategy to catch non-Mets in your web?
Question number two, how do you know your lead generation is producing enough leads to meet your goals?
Great question. And number three, what avenue of online lead generation should you learn more about and implement? Search engine optimization, pay-per-click, listing aggregators, social media, digital advertising, or maybe you're first to market to learn all this Facebook dynamic ad stuff coming. So there's shift tactic number 6, Natascha. Catch people in your web.
See you all next week at tactic number 7.